Hi, one SBR Sports Picks. He's Mike Brenner. I'm Peter Loshak. We're the odds couple. You come from sportsbookreview.com, SBRodds.com. We are talking with Joe Gavassi from winningsportsadvice.com right now about a handful of college basketball games that go on Thursday. We do this every week. I like doing this. We get an early look at some of these games. The first game we're going to look at right now is Richmond and Dayton. And, of course, these are two of the top teams in the Atlantic 10, and both teams have been great ATS. So at first you might think that this might be a 10-foot pole, except the early line I'm seeing here is Dayton minus 11. Dayton, obviously, a great team. Richmond, an admirable team too. And I'm thinking that I'm not seeing justification for Dayton being a double-digit favorite. Richmond plus 11. I'm thinking that might be a good bet, Mike Brenner.
Well, I am too. And, those Spiders, Richmond Spiders I'm talking about, they know how to turn it on. And like you said, they are two of the top teams in the Atlantic 10. All right, I think this is going to be a race. I think that's a hell of a lot of points. Yeah. So there's something, though. I'm wondering if it's an injury or they just think maybe they have that much home court dominance. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the reason is that if you look at Richmond's year-long stats, the line makes some sense. They're only 6-5-2 ATS overall, but over their last 5 games, they're 4-0-1 ATS.
So they're tightening up.
And they've just kind of like turned a corner, which we see a lot of the time, all the time every year with multiple teams around this time of year, and I think that might have happened to Richmond.
Now, Pistol Pete, I got to ask you, okay, what do you think jumping Joe Gavassi's going to pick in this game?
I think he's definitely going to say Richmond plus the points, a double-digit dog has value. Joe Gavassi from winningsportsadvice.com. Richmond, right?
I would be absolutely crazy if I joined the public who, along with you two, is wetting their pants to get this league-leading Richmond Spider 5-0 as a double-digit dog. I'm lining up with the line maker on this one.
Wow, okay.
Come directly from my article of the week, play against overachievers and play against underachievers. Richmond is certainly that, in my opinion. A closer inspection of their schedule finds that they bolted to 5-0 straight up out of the gate in the A10 with a 1-game lead over Dayton and a couple of others, due to a strength of schedule that has seen them defeat 5 opponents who are a combined 9-16 straight up. Now they get their first real test. It comes on the road, and they're not going to like it. Dayton is 52-8 straight up here, has the better coaching with Archie Miller. They are 4-2 as home chalk this year and on the verge of becoming a defensive dandy with positives in assist-to-turnover ratio and net turnover margin, along with outstanding defensive numbers. We're going to take a flyer with Dayton tonight, joining the line maker, and against the public.
Wow.
With Dayton minus the 11 points.
All right, so this falls under the category of if the line seems too big, sometimes it's that way for a reason. We saw the exact same thing with Baylor against West Virginia.
Yes.
West Virginia opened as a big favorite and then got bet higher, and of course we saw what happened. So it
happened.
could be in that category. I'm just thinking he said that they're getting their first real test. Obviously, they're getting their toughest test, but, they beat St. Joe's, George Washington, and Davidson outright on the road.
Yep.
They're not Dayton, but I think those are like pretty legitimate mid-range tests that they pass each time, right?
All of whom are teams that are under 500
yes,
in the league.
Sure. Okay, there it is. A simple answer. Dayton minus 11. Joe Gavassi, kind of a counterintuitive maybe.
Yeah, he was pretty strong about that and very confident. So you know what? I'm not going to doubt him. I'm definitely not going to put that out and back Richmond.
All right.
We'll
awesome analysis, Joe Gavassi. Winningsportsadvice.com is your website. Tell us about that.
My pleasure as always, guys. And that website does have the entire article about the teams that you should be getting a play against feel from as a result of their overachieving in the first part of conference season, and again the opposite as well. It's at winningsportsadvice.com. Just click on the articles section on the left side of the homepage.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Go get him, Tiger.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.